Celebrating small victories. More specifically, why keeping track of and celebrating your progress is very, very important. Tracking your progress. Now, one of the things that I'm going to highly recommend that you do as part of this course is that you continue to create a log of activities and log what you are doing. Keep track of what you have been doing. If you're taking a course, for example, in this case, you are taking this course, keep track of it. If you had a conversation with your mentor, or if you had a conversation with a colleague or a peer for an hour or a half hour, track it. If you are reading documentation, if you're helping others, track it, writing in your log. And basically, it all goes in the progress tracker, right? So here's what I would do if I were you. I would use Google Sheets. I personally do have a progress tracker, and I use Google Sheets. And then I have four columns in it. And in that four columns, I have first the date upon which the activities was performed. For example, I took the course on XYZ date. I put the date in there. The duration of the activity. If I took the course for an hour or 2 hours, whatever, I note down the duration. In the notes, I specify what I did. So, for example, I spoke to XYZ person. I posted on social media. I, spoke to a mentor, whatever. And then I specify the type of activity. For example, taking a course. Sometimes I like to even put the names of the course. And so for example, talking to a mentor, posting on social media, personal branding. I keep track of each of these activities. So I highly recommend that you do the same. And so far, all the progress that you've taken on this course, I highly recommend that you start this progress tracker and retroactively add all the stuff that you've done for this course into your progress tracker. And every activity that I'm going to have you do from here onwards, add to your progress tracker. I don't always use my progress tracker every day. I sometimes have it maybe once, sometimes twice a week. And you can do the same. Whatever works for you, whatever cadence works for you is fine. But definitely start keeping track of your progress. The reason that keeping track of your progress is important is that it will keep you motivated and it'll keep you a roadmap to follow. What a lot of people don't see is that small changes start to add up quite significantly. So if you start to take small steps, but you don't remember, right? Over a lengthy enough period of time, you don't realize how much small steps tend to accumulate. So if you tend to take small steps, tend to take a course, tend to read a little bit of documentation, tend to read a little bit about data structures and algorithms, tend to help others, etc. As long as you're keeping track, it will keep you motivated because you realize of all the progress you're making, and you realize how much time you've spent on it. It will give you goalposts to celebrate small victories. For example, if you complete a course, if you complete a blog post, if you create whatever a piece of code, etc. It's time. It'll allow you the opportunity to celebrate your small victories, and it will also keep your ego in check. Now, what's the problem with ego? Ego will make you think that, oh my God, um, this small stuff, right? How is it that it's helping me in my career? And aren't other people going to laugh at me? So, for example, if you take a course, or even if you take a small mathematics course, or on a topic that you didn't quite understand, right? Your ego is going to be like, come to you and say, don't post that on social media. People are going to know that you didn't know about the fundamental theorems within trigonometry. You never really paid attention. And now you just learned something new. So you're going to look stupid. Your ego is going to tell you to not do this. For example, if you take a small course or if you achieve your first certification, for example, you achieve a beginner certification in cloud, when you are about to post it, your ego is going to come to you and is like, this isn't really significant, right? You didn't achieve anything major. It's just a beginner certification. Don't post that on social media. Don't celebrate this. This isn't worth it. This progress tracker will keep your ego in check, and it will basically overcome your ego in the sense that not only am I keeping track, I'm also trying to celebrate what it is that I'm doing. It is very important to celebrate your small victories. Roughly, here's what I like to do. I mean, it's up to you how you like to celebrate. You can develop your own cadence. But it's very important for you to reward yourself for small victories. Reward yourself for the work you do. For example, for every 20 hours worth of work, perhaps give yourself a small reward. For every 100 hours worth of work, give yourself a big reward. For every milestone achieved, for example, if you take a certification, you complete a project, you get a course completion certificate, give yourself a break, you know. And these rewards can be anything. It's totally up to you what that reward can be. But I do want you to celebrate by number one, rewarding yourself. Reward yourself with your favorite candy bar, your ice cream, treat yourself to a meal, go out to eat something. If it becomes tiring, you're taking it's some of the stuff that I'm going to have you do. It's going to take a toll on you. It's going to take a mental toll. Take a break, take a nap, take a long bath, go watch a movie, do something else. Basically, not only because you need rest, but once you have achieved a milestone, for example, you've done something positive, you need to reward yourself with something positive so that you can reinforce that behavior in you. It's very important to reinforce positive behaviors in you so that those negative behaviors can go away. Now, for all the little milestones that you're going to take, I want you to get in the habit of celebrating with others and celebrating with yourself. For example, if you achieve a certification, if you complete a course, and I'm going to tell you how to do all of this and which parts of this are going to be important as the course progresses. I want you to post it on social media. I want you to tell others about it. For example, tell your mentor, tell your significant other, tell your friends, tell your best friend. I want you to celebrate your successes. Not only for the reason that it's important, celebrating success is important, it reinforces your positive behavior, but also it keeps your ego in check. Your ego needs to stop telling you that something is insignificant, because a lot of people, they get into this trap that when they're starting and because they're doing beginner stuff, that the beginner stuff isn't really worth celebrating. Oh, I only took this one little course in cloud computing and I don't really want to post it on social media because people are going to know that I'm a beginner. Who cares? That ego is stopping you, and it's a roadblock in your success. So I want you to celebrate, and I want you to celebrate your victories with others. I want you to celebrate small victories, and I want you to reward yourself for small victories. So go ahead, start your progress tracker. In the progress tracker, for the courses you're going to take, you're going to start take, for example, for this course, start tracking the progress, how many hours you've spent on it, and as you do additional stuff. For example, I'm going to assign projects to you. I'm going to, take you over a roadmap of a certifications that you're going to need. For all of those, when you achieve a major milestone, reward yourself and celebrate it. Even if you think it's a small milestone, reward yourself and celebrate it. It's a very, very important. And again, this is part of that positive mental thinking without which it's going to be difficult to succeed.